July 2024 video horoscopes with Milada from AstroLada.com. July is forming up to be a very interesting month, a month of battle between light and darkness, but the light predominates because the month starts with a new moon on Sirius, the most spiritual, powerful star, the brightest star in the sky with energy. The Christed energy is carried there, which with only with good aspects. Then the whole month, Jupiter is passing over the eye of the bull, the luckiest star, according to ancient astrology of Hermes, the star of success and abundance. And Jupiter is the planet of success and abundance. And this happens once in 12 years only. This is the star of Archangel Michael. So we have the energy of the Christ consciousness through the new moon coming to us. It's Sirius is the star of freedom, of being free. That's why a lot of Independence Days happen for different countries around that day. So the energy of freedom and spiritual awakening comes through the new moon, while through Jupiter, we have the energy of Archangel Michael coming who fights the dark forces. Simultaneously with that, Uranus and Mars are coming together, and in the middle of the month, they join on the critical degree, 25 degrees of Taurus, where projected the star Algol, a demonic star, the most inauspicious star. It has like demonic influence there, and it's star of catastrophes and shocks and beheadings and losing one's head. But that's the only negative influence. Or it can also be positive, because through the star Algol, you can cut off unwanted things, like the head of Medusa is cut off. You can cut off unwanted things from your life. But there is the gathering of this dark energy. But Jupiter, Archangel Michael, Sirius, the Christed energy of the ascended masters as well, energy of the teachers of humanity, is there to help us. I'm so excited. Let's dive into the 12 signs to describe it through each of the 12 signs. And before that, I want to introduce you to my new 4-hour tutorial that I've recorded for you already. On the first 12 hours, 1,000 ones were sold. So thank you so much for your trust in me. It speaks about each of the 12 signs and the 5 connected themes in the life of your rising sign, in the life of a person according to their rising sun or moon sign. Do you know that every person, every sign has 5 topics in their lives that are connected? For example, do you know that Aquarius people, especially Aquarius rising, their money and financial success very much depends on their social connections and on their friendships, because the ruler of the second house is also the ruler of the 11th house, second house of money with 11th house of friends or social network. That's why very often Aquarius need to social network and can become abundant through that. Or if their friendships are not good, their money is not going to be good. Or, for example, let's take someone else, Taurus rising. Their second house of finances is connected, is the same ruler as the 5th house. So their financial state can really change after having a children, or if they do something creative that they really love. But there's 5 such topics that are interconnected for each sign. For example, why is Scorpio such a battlesome sign? Because the ruler of Scorpio is also the ruler of the 6th house of battles, disputes, arguments, and enemies. Scorpio is the sign that has the most enemies, because the same planet that rules them rules their 6th house of enemies. But because it's Mars, that planet that rules them, they win over their enemies. But it means they have more enemies. So so I would describe you and how to do remedies if one area of your life is not working, for relationships, for your career. Like, for example, for Capricorn, if their career is not working, which is ruled by Libra, Venus, they should focus on the 5th house, which is also ruled by Venus, to raise the vibration of their Venus, and their career will also start flowing. So they might do some fun stuff, creative stuff, or even after having a child, their career can take off. But anyway, if you're interested to take this course, it's $24, 4 hours, and it becomes 39 after the 15th of July. Now let's start. Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, July 2024. Cancer, the moon starts with a new moon in your sign. It's time to shine, to be reborn. Your energy will start flooding back in again. You would feel, whether it's your sun, moon, or ascendant, especially strongly if it's your sun in Cancer, where you feel revitalization. And after the fifth onwards, you start feeling like you're coming back into focus as well, that you can be more initiative. You can even receive imprints about how the next 12 months will be, inspirations, ideas, write them down. But this new moon is especially auspicious. I would call it probably the most auspicious new moon of the whole year, because it is happening exactly on the degree where the star Sirius is projected. Sirius is known as the divine sister or brother, whatever you want to call it, a binary star with our sun. It's where the spiritual impulses for our solar system and humanity in particular come from Sirius to our sun, because Sirius is extremely high vibrational planet, and it sends its signals down to earth when it aligns with the sun, and it's aligning with the sun and moon in around the 4th, 5th, 6th of July. And this new moon is extremely blessed. You can have insights, spiritual upliftment. If you are spiritually inclined, you can meditate around that time. You can get downloads, inspiration. Sirius is the star of freedom. That's why around the 4th, 5th of July, a lot of countries celebrate their freedom. Is the star of spiritual awakening, according to ancient texts as well. Is the star of illumination. All the exalted masters of humanity, according to Western esoteric tradition and even Eastern, had to take initiation into the Sirius initiation, the star Sirius initiation. And it's believed that a lot of knowledge, inspiration comes to us from there. So that's why you're especially blessed sign this month, Cancers. Sirius is connected to the energy of Isis and Horus in ancient Egypt, and in current times with Christianity is connected to the energy of Mother Mary and Jesus and the Christed energy as well. So there is a lot of protection for you this month. It's a very good omen for you, I would say. Whether this inspiration, this liberation of some sort will come, you'll get an idea to start something. So I think it's extremely positive month for you to initiate new beginnings after the new moon, after the 5th, 6th, when the moon becomes visible, or at least to receive the inspiration, what direction you have to go into, and to start new beginnings, or even to renew your health or direction in life, clarity about who you are, aligned to the energy of Christ and aligned to the energy of the Virgin Mary, or whatever religion you are. There must be some correspondence there, or just the energy of Sirius. And Sirius is also known as the dog star, guardian, the guardian star. There is protection there for you. Or if you want to even take a dog, that can be a good omen for you in some way. But overall, this most beautiful new moon is happening in your sign of new beginnings and renewal. At the same time, the whole month, especially the first 15 days, Jupiter, the planet of luck and abundance, is passing right in the sector of the sky known as the bull's eye. You can see it here. It's upside down, but it's there pretty much the whole month around the bullseye. The star Aldebaran is known as the most blessed star. Just like Sirius is the most spiritual and liberating star, where you download information that can free you. Aldebaran can open for you opportunities for abundance, because the bull's eye and Jupiter is abundance. Aldebaran is star of wealth and luck. But it's all happening in your 12th house. So it might be more of spiritual, again, spiritual, 12th house, the spiritual luck that comes, or insights into your subconscious that is empowering you in some way. Or it can even be an opening this month for something to do with foreign countries for you. 12th house rules faraway places, or connecting with the invisible world, so connecting with unknown places, maybe an opportunity to travel or live abroad, maybe an opportunity for some spiritual activities like a retreat or a holiday in a faraway place that can even bring a lot of growth for you, because Jupiter passes over the eye of the bull once in 12 years and is the most auspicious star according to ancient texts. So use that through your 12th house. Maybe you can have a prophetic dream, the 12th house. Maybe your intuition can increase, that can show you how to be more abundant, more lucky. Maybe it can unlock some of your past lives. 12th house, knowledge towards the past lives. 12th houses, past lifetimes. So locked memories or locked knowing from past lifetimes, which can be a mission that you can start completing, that is connected to past lifetimes as well. But it can be very auspicious if you're doing anything abroad, long-term investments, but abroad as well, or if you're investing in spiritual actions, or if you're anyone who is connected to 12th house careers or activities, if you're psychic, medium, psychologist, if you're working with the subconscious, if you're working with the archetypes, if you're creative, imaginative person, it can be like a downpouring of the abundance of Aldebaran, of creative impulses, imaginative impressions, intuitive understandings and realizations as well. Maybe spending time alone in meditation or in nature can be extremely insightful. The bullseye sees the truth. And Jupiter is the planet of truth that will align you to high vibration and abundance and luck in some way. So yeah, those of you interested in those topics or in such careers or careers that are about helping those in need, spiritual fields, artistic fields, more creative fields, can feel very abundant this month. Then around the middle of the month, we have a little bit more difficult combination. Uranus and Mars still here on the picture. They're not fully together, but within 10 days later from this, they join together in your 11th house. Now, they join together on a more difficult start. They join together close to the Pleiades, the Crying Sisters, and align very closely to, you can't see it here, but with the star Algol, which is more on the darker side. Now we have two light, Archangel Michael star Aldebaran, that's activated this month. Sirius, which is strongly protecting you this month in your sign, the Sirius new moon. But we have also the darker forces, Algol, which is meeting in your 11th house. So you have to be a bit more careful in your social contacts, in your relationships. 11th house is socializing house. Around the middle of the month, let's say 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th, around that time. But again, I think you're very protected because of the new moon in Sirius. It also means that Uranus and Mars, and not to lose your head, because Algol is also known as Medusa's head. It was cut off, so it means to lose your head when it comes to 11th house matters with friends, with all the siblings in your social circle, or about social matters, something, if something happens in the world and it kind of really frustrates you and makes you act out. But also it can be seen in a positive way as well. Mars is ruthless, Uranus is fast and cutting. It's in the constellation connecting to cutting something off where they meet, and that's in your 11th house. You might cut off some friends that let's say more of the darker energy around you, and social contacts or someone from your wider environment, so to speak. But also Mars and Uranus are starting a new cycle in your life, which can entice you to fast action in regards to social economic goals. The 11th house is the goals that you pursue in society, the long-term goals and plans. And it's also your gains, financial gains, your bonuses, your income, your business income. So social and economic goals that we have, Uranus and Mars can make you act in a very kind of like fast way towards such direction, maybe some very fast development there. It's exciting, or to get involved in some social or economic or new goal of yours, that you would act with precision, like the sharp cutting knife that is symbolized by that area of the sky known as, also in Vedic astrology, as Kritika, the sharp knife, the sharp cutting mind as well. So there is sharpness there, but sometimes, especially when we're pursuing goals, that's what is needed, this sharpness, this focus. And then I forgot to mention something, that while Jupiter is on this very auspicious star Aldebaran, the whole month, giving green light to everything, 12th house, whether it be foreign travel, mystical studies, spiritual work. It's a releasing of unwanted habits. 12th house is also our hidden things, hidden vices. You can release them with Jupiter in this 12th house, but at the same time, Jupiter is trying the whole month the South Node, which is also a planet that helps us release unwanted patterns from the past. And it will happen very easily with Jupiter trining the South Node. If something has played its role, you can leave it. It's not going to be negative. It's not going to be stressful that you're regretting it. Jupiter is a very illuminated planet, and you do it from a higher perspective and you see the meaning of it all. And the South Node and it's also harvesting period, this closing trine of Jupiter in the South Node, and Jupiter is on a wealth-giving area of the sky in the bullseye. And the South Node is on a star of the harvest, the grape gatherer, Vindemiatrix. They're making a trine. They can be gathering of grapes, especially of spiritual efforts, because they're both in spiritual and emotional houses for you, the 12th and the 4th. So really extremely spiritual period for those of you who are aligned spiritually. If you've been doing such effort, they can be harvesting. There can be abundance of knowledge, growth, insights. But also Vindemiatrix is the star of divorce or cutting connections. That's another meaning to it. And Jupiter trine to your South Node in the 4th house, a family or home or family ancestral patterns can help you release very gracefully some kind of a habit or repeating pattern from your family, or even sometimes can be like leaving some place, letting go of a place of living that you're attached to in a very elegant way, in a very mature and easy way. Maybe even forgiving some pain or trauma that happened in your childhood, letting go of some pain or trauma connected to family, mother, father, which is the South Node is in your 4th house of family, Jupiter in the 12th house. The 12th and the 4th house are psychological, emotional houses. So if you're someone who is introspective, introverted, they can be extremely positive release psychologically of pain from the past, of painful feelings, of traumas and forgiveness, because they're very spiritual planets, both Jupiter and the South Node. Jupiter gives the green light with everything it aspects, and the South Node is also without boundaries. So it can be to do something positive with your family, place of living, house as well, that is transpiring this month. But especially psychological release is very, very powerful this month. And then the month towards the end, around the 20th, 21st, we have the full moon in Capricorn. The very last degrees of your 7th house is Capricorn. So from the 20th onwards, there can be a strong focus on relationships, and it's with Pluto. And it's a full moon, culmination of a relationship. It can be a business partnership, it can be a contract, it can be a collaboration that is giving its results, or that is reaching to a level that, which because full moon is to give results, to reap the rewards of some partnership or business, or 7th house is your clients, your audience, the public as well, where you can see results, where you can also have some important developments happening. And it's with Pluto, it can be very transformational. But full moons are also about something reaching the fullest potential and then starting to get smaller after that, or it's given its potential, so now you can release it. Full moons can be about releasing something connected to your relationships. Again, similar to Uranus and Mars in your 11th house, which is social house, but the 7th house where the full moon is more intimate relationships as well, one-on-one relationships, not the whole social, all your friends and contacts, people that you have more close personal relationship with, that you can, even with Pluto, you can remove toxic such people from your life, or And because there's a lot of helping aspects to this full moon, it will happen again with more grace and ease. Of course, there can be some kind of a crisis with others around this full moon, that others are triggering you or pushing your buttons. That's again to show you the right path and direction. But also it can be culmination of something important in your relationships as well. So that's about it, Cancer. Hope it was helpful for you. And check out my course if you're interested to learn more about the topic of the 5 connected topics in each for each of the 12 ascendants.